Thank you very much, Mr. Chancellor, and to the University of Toronto for honoring me with this honorary doctorate, and to the graduates who will receive their degrees today. Congratulations. You're entering a new world, and all I can do today is share with you my journey and how in that journey nothing was irrelevant. One would imagine my PhD in the foundations of quantum theory on non-separability and non-locality in quantum phenomena would have nothing to do with what I do today with food and agriculture systems. But it is intimately connected, because everything is connected. Non-separability in quantum theory is precisely what, in ecology, we learn as the interconnectedness of life, so poetically talked about by Chief Seattle. And I really don't care whether he was fictitious or not, or he really wrote this or not. It's such beautiful, inspiring writing that I want to share it again with you. This we know: the earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to the earth. This we know: all things are connected, like the blood which unites one family. All things are connected. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the sons of the earth. Man did not weave the web of life. He's merely a strand in it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself. We inherited a legacy, at least my generation did 40 years ago, a legacy of thinking that we are separate from nature, when every morsel of food we eat becomes our body. When whether it's the pollution we breathe or the oxygen the trees give us, interdependence is the very condition of our existence on this planet. And because we are just a strand in the web of life, in my many years of working for ecological protection, I have celebrated the diversity of species. And for me, the smallest of microbes in the soils that our eyes don't see is the real source of food security. For me, the tiniest of little plants that give us healing. One of my favorite is something that rescued me from a serious, serious liver problem. A little plant called Philanthus neruri, called a weed in industrial agriculture, sprayed and killed. It's the only cure we have for jaundice and liver damage. And that is when the Philanthus neruri is patented, or the neem is patented, or the basmati is patented, or the wheat is patented, or the climate-resilient crops are patented, or seed is patented, I see it as a deep aberration in humanity, because we did not invent that life. At best, we modify it. At best, we take it from a community, and when we take it without permission, we've given the name biopiracy. For me, life and biodiversity teaches us freedom. Those little seeds we save in Navdanya burst out in freedom every season. Every season they multiply, they reproduce. And the millets, my absolutely favorite crops, they were forgotten foods. They were considered inferior because they were dark. But I really believe black is beautiful. And these crops are the miracle crops for the future. They use 1/10 of the water that industrial crops do, and they give us 40 to 50 times more nutrition. And the reason they're called millets is because each tiny seed gives you 1,000,000 seeds. That's why millets. How could we not have abundance on this planet? How could we not have food for the last person and the last being? Because the web of life is a food web. As an ancient Indian text says, Everything is food, everything is something else's food. And in that web of life, the human being is less than the microbe, not the top of the pyramid. It's that pyramidical thought that has come from a culture of domination that has created these misconceptions about our place on the earth, about a place of women. Women have been rendered as unproductive. Women don't work when they slog more than anyone else. Women don't know when they are the source of knowledge, of the seed, of the medicinal plant, of the biodiversity. When I do my work in the field, I have my one PhD from the University of Western Ontario, an honorary doctorate now, thank you, from the University of Toronto, but so many PhDs from the women who are illiterate in our villages, but teach me daily knowledge that we have no idea is in their history, because they are a continuity of centuries of knowing. They are a continuity who quietly teach us the culture of caring and sharing, values you will need very much as you leave to enter the larger world. And you enter that larger world in a time of huge political and economic instability. You enter that world in a time of deep divides. It is from nature, from the earth, from biodiversity, from our mothers and our grandmothers. You can learn the lessons of real abundance and well-being. There's an extremely big debate taking place around the world about whether the growth that we measure as GDP and GNP is an adequate indicator. Of course, that indicator is what left women's creativity and productivity out. But it is now creating big instability, because today growth can take place with no production, with just a bit of speculation, including the fact that 33% of all speculation today is around food. As a trader said, we are trading wheat, but it's wheat we are never going to see. And yet, speculation on wheat as a commodity affects the right to food of a child in Africa, a woman in India. As Kopfman wrote in The Food Bubble, imaginary wheat bought anywhere affects real wheat bought everywhere. And it is in this interconnected world of instability and volatility that the values of diversity help us. The values of diversity help us in realizing that in diversity, you can only have cooperation. You can only have a give and take. And I absolutely love this room, because it is a teacher of how the world really is. The world is circular. It's not linear. Linearity cripples us, reduces us, shrinks us, and creates new vulnerabilities, because if all you've seen is a linear path, not having that path to walk creates panic. But cycles tell us life renews. Diversity tells us that in diversity and multiplicity lies resilience. Monocultures are highly vulnerable. We know that in ecology. But we also know that in culture. Wherever a monoculture starts to take over, intolerance sets in, exclusion sets in. Diversity is the very condition of freedom, of resilience, of democracy, of abundance, of creating a future. So as you go out into the world, I only can share that in cultivating the earth, in cultivating the soil, we don't just cultivate plants, we cultivate community. And in cultivating any initiative that nurtures and protects others, we cultivate the future. As Tagore has said 100 years ago, our national poet who got a Nobel Prize in Literature, he said, the problem now for us is of a single country, the earth, where all individuals must find both their freedom of self-expression and their bond of federation. Humanity must realize a unity wider in range, deeper in sentiment, stronger in power than ever before. May that strength be with you in your lives. Thank you.